you not anywhere right now?
I just joined because I'm also it's so many hearts.
So much more different over
Someone being
Yes. I've heard of that one.
yeah, it's more of a co-working with people that do yoga stuff like that. So good spot.
There's another one over on the east side. A guy who started. I've heard about that one, but there doesn't go that over there really well.
So you have to be
The guy who did Build a Sign.
You can't be in
He opened
Just recently?
here. There's
I think it's on the side.
Boston Energy. Oh, it looks like
It's by the cemetery over there.
Pretty nice inside.
Yeah, it's an old mechanic shop.
Yeah, that's what I just saw. I haven't checked it out.
I haven't seen it yet, but I just heard about it. And that's the one.
Fuka, I was about to eat Fuka.
See, I don't know that much, but I've watched them go from like zero to co-working space to like big ones to like the last like 5 years.
Warriors.
I haven't. I mean, there's nothing on it that I'm playing over the kind of like the office he's with yeah. I was on their website the other day and I saw her picture and I was like, look at that.
What they did is they joined like a worldwide network.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was something else, like I walked by and I saw the parking lot for the parking for Buka, there was another name attached to parking. So it's sort of where
Well, everything seems okay. Yeah. Yeah, two locations, but if you go on the website, guess what? They're trying to do office space. Where would you go for up here?
This is hard. So hard to explain.
I don't, you know, I really don't know.
Paying full month or like drop it?
For rework, I think it's ladies, but I rent the
So I haven't explored tech. I've been to the WeWork downtown. I haven't been to the University of California. I heard that's nice. And the domain
Where I thought you were like that.
and I think it's already
Why they open a third location?
one of the newer buildings. It's already sold out. We're launching we're partnering with New York Engineers to use their gas power
Already have.
and they've got like 10 nights. So Arizona's being like 30 days. Wow. There's one right around
That's expensive.
She's the original. Yeah, she's the original co-working, like one of the original co-working.
Yeah, they're dropping.
There were a couple of and we talked to them and we never started a class, but I learned a lot about co-working real estate.
But there's one now on Rainy Street.
One block off Rainy Street. Sometimes I like, look, my mind is already overloaded.
I know. Well, who's going to be the first guy that does the wall? That's coming out.
Well, I think if you, like, I think by having a forward they're reciprocal network. So, like, there's a map over there if you walk back into that. It shows, like, other conversations. But I don't know how, or I don't know how that's like.
Inside Austin.
I mean, you've got a lot of
Yeah, that always filled out. The reason they're filling out is the city is like Austin.
That's what I'm doing. And the funny thing is like, usually pretty good. Right? Like, you're not right. I believe so. Oh, I can hear you now. Just gonna double check a couple things. Hey.
I'm Scott White.
Nice to meet you.
Presenting for
Yeah. Cool.
So say hi.
Awesome.
All set with everything?
You're good. I got it pulled up on here. I'll pull it up and call you up. And I'll be sitting there hanging out. So. Can I have you talk for a second? Do it one more time. It's coming through on his laptop.
Sound output on his laptop is pointed to. We'll see, this might not carry sound. See what I mean?
I had a YouTube video go through to this TV. Do I maybe need to change the
Output, make sure that the output is centered on his
audio? Okay, try one more time.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Is it still on the laptop? No? Working?
Yeah, it's going through the whole system.
Okay.
Okay, so at 7, I'm going to do some announcements. I'm actually going to send you a link to the live feed.
Okay.
So you can take a look through that. It'll show the stage and kind of just give you an idea of what people will see. The TV is directly behind me, and so that'll show up on the live stream. After my announcements, we'll have the keynote speaker come on, and then I'll come when he's done and he starts doing his Q&A. Then after that, we'll bring you in.
Make sure that you use the sound.
Yeah, I want to have you mute your side. But otherwise, we're all set. Do you need anything else? else?
I'll go on mute right now.
Okay, cool.
No, I'll just go on mute right now, and if you need, just like sign or something, and then I'll know when you.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, I'm gonna move that over when it comes time to. For right now, just leave it right here on this thing.
What do you think of this Facebook Live?
I mean, I've used it. I guess.
I did it, I stopped it, but I'm thinking about doing it again. Sit there. I was thinking about sitting there. Yeah, well, you should sit two people there.
Move one of these things.
No, I'm going to sit there. Yeah, the space right there for the camera.
Is this your first? Nice, that's great.
Compared to what we do,
It's a great place.
staying local or talking has a
Hi, everyone. They're getting there. Can you hear it? Can you guys hear me in the back? On the mic or on the speakers? Kind of. Maybe a little bit more. All right, I think we're good now. Hi, everyone. How's it going today? Good? Are you awake? My name is Jason Freshley. Welcome to the September co-founder meetup here at Capital Factory. How many people have been here before? Okay, cool. Welcome back. Newbies, welcome. Oh, it already went forward. Sweet. I want to thank everybody that helps put this event together, because I'm not the only one that does all this. I delegate and have cohorts and colleagues. If anybody's interested in helping out, volunteering, wrangling people, or as I like to call it, herding cats, you're welcome to come talk to me and ask and get feedback, and we'll be happy to put you to work. There's all kinds of fun stuff that goes into putting this event together, and anything to make my life a little less stressless is always a good thing, and you'll meet a lot of cool people. For all you new people, the colored dots represent different types of skill sets and why you're here. So if there are certain things you're looking for or certain things you need, it's a great way for you to go network and to go after target your audience as far as who you're looking for. I'll put this back up at the end. So you guys already did some mix and mingling. Now I'm going to talk for a second. Gary will come up and give his keynote on sales related topics. I'm excited to hear it because I always need sales help. Then we have 5 pitches, one of which is actually Skyping in from Denmark. So that'll be a first for us. Then we'll have mixing and mingling. You can go chat with the presenters that came through. You can ask them more questions. We will have time for Q&A for each of them, but if you have more that you want to know. And all the presenters, you all know to stand here on the stage. The microphone is right there, and we'll pick up everything you say, and we have lovely cameras to keep track of you. What's next? And I have a clicker that'll work. Upcoming events. So next month, we are partnering with Startup Week. We will be Monday evening, the first Monday, not the second Monday. We'll be in here. It will fill out. We will hit capacity. So I will do all I can to say I promise you can get in the door, but you might want to get here early that day. We probably will remove the tables and put just all chairs in through here so we can maximize the space. We're really looking forward to it. We've done it last year. It was a lot of fun. And we're looking forward to our keynote speaker, Brett Hurt, who, if you don't know, is the founder of Bizarre Voice and just started a new venture as of less than a month ago. Another exciting thing, we have our co-founder in LA starting up in October 17th at the WeWork and Promenade, Santa Monica. We are looking for a keynote speaker if you know anybody in LA that likes to get on stage and talk for 20 minutes. And if you have any friends out in LA, let them know about the event, tell them to go check it out, or tell them to go pitch. In November, we'll be partnering with Tech Week out there, and we'll be downtown LA for that event as well. We have a bunch of fun sponsors that help also put this event together, and I'm going to start off by bringing Monica up, because I think you're the only one that's here. Oh, no, there's a second one, too. Yeah, come on up, Monica.
Hey folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Monica Layfield. I'm a business attorney with Richards, Rodriguez, and Smyth. I've been practicing in the Austin area for 10 years now. Y'all are free to tell me that you're completely shocked by that, and I will take that compliment. My practice really focuses on working with startups, and I work with and emerging growth companies, work through all phases of the startup process, growth process, and then on to sale. And I've been partnering up with TechMap co-founder for about a year now, and it's been a really rewarding experience to see entrepreneurs come together and really collaborate and benefit from each other's experiences. And so if I can be a resource, I'm happy to be, please feel free to reach out, and thank y'all very much. And definitely make sure you ask Johan about his Gallo Pinto, because I know he's killing it right now. All right, thank you guys very much. Y'all have a great night.
Thanks, Monica. I saw someone from MSTC in the back. Are you the rep for today? Yeah. Come on up. Mandy decided not to come out today?
She's a bit sick, so I volunteered.
Okay. That's good.
Here or up
Yeah,
here?
just right on here.
Okay.
You're good.
So I'm representing MSTC. I'm not only interning in their office, I'm actually in the program right now. It's a 1-year master's at Macombs Business School. It's alternating weekends, and it's definitely, I can say this because technically I'm not from MSTC, but how I would describe it, it's basically an MBA for entrepreneurs. So if you're really interested in launching your own venture, check us out. I'll be in the back, so see you guys later.
Thank you. Golden Arm Media.
So I didn't have a big speech prepared today because I just came from WP Engine, where we had a shot highlighting the relationship with Bridgepoint to streamline their sales funnel. So that was a lot of fun for me to go up to a bunch of introverted coders and say, hey, you want to be in this B-roll shot? Can we just get a couple extra pickup shots of you typing, making them act through these scenes? But more importantly than that, it's important to tell your story, the wins you've had, what makes your company culture different. So if you have thought about doing video to promote your company, I'd love to talk with you about that. We love working with people in the tech arena here in Austin. Thank you.
Thank you. Who else is up there? Chimichurri cannot make it. They are a build your own SaaS model. They have a discount if you email them and reach out to them for TechMap crew and event people that attend. Talk to Sebastian. He's been a great resource. He's pitched on stage before. I think he's pitching next month. He's done a lot of work on his platform, and it's actually a really cool system. Who else? Burrow. Burrow helps us out with delivering food and items because I don't own a car in this city, so I can't go to Sam's Club and go to these places and haul stuff here. So I let them haul it for me, and it's fantastic. Who else is on there? Capital Factory, the space. If you need a bathroom, they're located behind the front desk to the left or right. The front desk guy also has parking passes if you parked in this garage. I'm with the Fresh Idea Group. We're a digital marketing agency, and I help make sure that you understand what your customers are doing online when they interact with you, whether or not they're taking those call to actions and you're converting people. TechMap, obviously. Dujo Promo and Pitch Deals are also part of the TechMap family, and Johan and Veronica can explain those as well. Thank you, Chris. Here's the list of pitches that we have coming up for today, and we'll come back to that. Again, 20 minutes for the keynote, 5-minute Q&A, and then 5 minutes on each of the pitches with 4 minutes of Q&A for each one. We'll be timing it from the clock right there, and for those of you that know me, know I will come up here and kick you off the stage. Please pick up your trash. There are trash receptacles in the front and back. I said about the bathroom. At 9 o'clock, I ring a bell, and I do herd you out of here, unforcefully, if half need be. Everybody's gotten used to the bell. And you can go downstairs to the lobby bar. They really like you at 9:01. So I'm going to bring up Gary. And Gary's been a sales professional in and around Austin for a while. And I'm looking forward to the great insight that he has to share.
So thank you very much, Jason. Thank you, Johan, for the opportunity to present this evening. Hi, everyone. It's great to meet you all, and great to see some familiar faces. To start out, could I please ask for a volunteer? I see a lot of...
No magic tricks, right?
No magic tricks. There may be a reward for a specific volunteer. Oh, we got a couple. Oh, perfect. The gentleman in the blue. All right. So thank you so much. So, Ed? Yes. Take Gary. Thank you. Gary, next. Smiley key. For 20 minutes. And also a gift card. So thank you so much. So that's everything for right now. So thank you so much for volunteering. So I do have, I guess, a small request. So if you could please ensure, although we've got a timer here that's glaring me right in the face, I do wear glasses and sometimes I get caught up in the moment. So if you could please keep me on track this evening. And we're about 7:10. So if you could please give me a signal at 7:25. And if you can't catch me, throw the stress ball at me to grab my attention. That would be really appreciated. But I really appreciate your help, Ted. Thank you so much. So I'm talking about sales. It's a topic I love, I'm passionate about, so sometimes I can go off on a tangent. So thank you so much, Ted, for keeping me on track.
I'll do my best.
So thank you. So to start out, recently I was really fortunate to be invited to a local tech organization to participate in a fireside chat for an inside sales team. And during that fireside chat, one of the questions that I was asked is, Gary, based on your experience, are sales professionals born or are they made? And I was like, oh gosh. And I thought about that question and my experience and where I came from. I can most definitely say, just based on my background, sales professionals are definitely not born. Gary was not born to be a sales professional, but over the course of the last 13, 14 years, somehow I was made. And why I say that is I grew up in a small town in Northern Ireland, Carrickfergus. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. And when I grew up there, very, very small town, my parents always told me, before I went anywhere, said, Gary, you gotta make sure you're polite. You only gotta speak when spoken to, never interrupt anyone, never ask anyone about money, never ask anyone about how much their car costs, how much, maybe if you got a gift, how much did that cost? I never asked my dad, like, how was the year going? Are things looking good for Christmas time? It never came up at the dinner table conversation. So it was that was my upbringing. Fast forward a few years later, or several years later, I found myself in Toronto, Canada. I was about to be married. I had a meeting with my future father-in-law, and he asked me the question. He said, Gary, welcome to the family. But just had a question. How are you going to provide for my daughter? I was like, oh boy. Okay, so a few days later, I found myself in a telemarketing job. 0 sales experience. I was presented with a list of 100 plus names, telephone numbers, and as I told you, got to call. Just call Gary. Sell. And I was like, oh boy. And I found myself interrupting people at dinner, found myself talking to people I never talked to before in my life, and I found myself asking people for money. or did they have budget? But that's the moment where I truly realized that I had a passion for sales, but more so helping people, because not everyone was open to having a conversation in those calls I made, but a lot of people needed help, and I was able to help them, and that's when I clued in. I love selling. I love sales because it's an opportunity for me to help people, but also an opportunity to hopefully provide for my family, make some money at the same time. And ever since, it's just been an evolution of my sales career and background. So I can definitely say salespeople are made, and that's including myself. So I want to build off of that for tonight's presentation. So I want to talk about my key learnings, specifically over the last 3 or 4 years in building out sales organizations at a large company, and also starting my own business just over a year ago, focused on sales training and sales consulting. And recent research, there's an association, American Association of Inside Sales Professionals, and they've listed the top 5 sales challenges for leaders out there in the business marketplace. Number 1 is hiring. Number 2 is identifying tools, technology. Number 3 is lead quality. 4 is coaching. 5 is training. So what I'm hoping to do today is really pick 2 of those, so specifically hiring, as well as identifying tools and technology to help you within either your sales organization, your company, or to accelerate your growth and drive revenue in the long term. So let's start out with hiring. So for hiring, for me, it's probably one of the most important areas of any business, not just within sales. I think truly people are our most important asset. If we do a good job of recruiting, hiring people, we bring them on board, we develop them, we engage them, we retain them, true success is ultimately going to follow. So for me, that's always been my biggest focus in any job, any position I've had. As long as I can hire well, identify great talent, and invest in them, good things are always going to happen. And a little bit of context to why hiring is a potential challenge out there in the marketplace today. DePaul University, they just published some research. Average turnover or attrition within a sales organization is currently 26%. And for me, that's too high. My goal has always been, how can I get my attrition turnover under 10% on an annual basis? With replacing a salesperson, there's obviously a lot of costs. So average cost to replace a salesperson is $100K. And that could be a lot more depending on the organization you're with. And that's really boiled down to the cost with hiring, identifying that talent, training them, as well as lost opportunity costs for the individual that you're replacing, essentially having an empty chair or an empty slot for a period of time. So it's definitely a huge challenge. And with that, specific to hiring, I always get asked a question more frequently within the startup world. So Gary, when I'm building out my sales organization, who do I hire first? Do I hire sales reps first? Or do I hire my VP of sales first? So before I answer that question, I think most importantly, the sales function should start with the CEO, the co-founder, the founder of that company. I think truly, they may not have a sales background, you may not have a sales background, but truly getting stuck in, getting to talk to your customers, meet your customers, closing those first 15, 20 transactions is so important, because the information you're going to learn is so valuable. You're going to identify customer trends, competition in the marketplace. You're going to see what leads you are getting, which leads convert more quickly, have higher propensity to result in closed revenue. So there's just a lot. You're going to start establishing a sales process. So there's so much you can get out of taking that sales charge on yourself from the very first outset. So let me go back to answer your question, or my own question. So should I hire frontline sales folks or VP of sales first? For me, I truly believe that hiring a couple of reps first is going to help you be much, much more successful in the long term. And then once you've got a repeatable process in place, hiring that VP of sales. And there's a couple of reasons for that, and I'll go into that in a little bit more detail as we go through the presentation. But first, let's start out with those frontline sales representatives. So I was curious, just to get your feedback, whenever you think about stereotypical salespeople, sales professionals, what kind of characteristics come to mind? Caring, I think, is one. Confidence? Yeah, definitely. That's a great one. Thank you, Tina. Pardon? Talkative? Oh yeah, definitely. You're like, oh boy, I'm gonna get a sales pitch right now. Look out. So definitely talkative. Any other thoughts out there? Yes, sir.
How about the classic Dan Aykroyd?
Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah, you know, I mean, like the cheesy,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you know, I'm sorry to say that, you know.
No, but it's
It's
true.
just a classic.
But it is very true. Thank you for the feedback. And I actually, in preparation for this, I Googled salespeople. And there's a lot of images came up, and this is one of the top images, and it kind of feeds into maybe that cheesy, maybe that talkative, maybe kind of pushy type sales professional, and that makes me cringe a little bit. For me, of course, I'm biased. I'm in sales, and I've been in sales. I've hired a lot of people. I truly don't think it's like that. Because for me, I truly, over the last 15, 20, 25 years, I think sales is morphed so much. I think you've gone from selling features and benefits to then it morphed into solution type selling. But for me right now, I think the most successful sales professionals are those who are insight leaders, thought leaders. Every market is so competitive. There's so many folks, so many organizations. There's 10 other Garys calling that same person that you want to get hold of. So if you can set yourself apart as a thought leader, an insight leader, you're going to be so much more successful. When I think about sales professionals, some of those words come to mind, like integrity, like trust, like maybe challenging your customers' expectations, what they truly think is possible within their business. So I think definitely these are some of the characteristics which hold true. So to feed off of that, I want to share, before starting my own company, I was responsible for building an organization from the ground up. So I had a lot of learnings from a hiring perspective. I had to hire 250 folks, and I did that over a period of 3 years. And I had a lot of learning about characteristics which are most important, which help folks be more successful within a sales role. So I wanted to outline maybe those top 5, which I look for and I interview for on an ongoing basis. And they're somewhat aligned to the image on the right of the screen, more so than the left. So for me, when I look for a successful sales professional, I really think about my organization and company to start out with. So think about my culture and the context of our business right now. So where are we right now? And is this individual going to be a good fit? And some of the characteristics I would really look for, starting out with like drive, tenacity. I think some folks talk about grit. So are they goal-oriented? Do they set themselves goals on an ongoing basis? Do they measure themselves against it? What kind of goals did they set, but unfortunately they didn't succeed in attaining? Were they reflective? Did they learn from those experiences? And did they change their approach moving forward? So I really want to see, are they coachable? The next one is really, are they good communicators? Like, how do they communicate either on the phone or in person? And I'm more interested in, are they interested versus interesting? So do they ask a lot of questions? For me, as a sales professional, if you're in a sales conversation, a sales meeting, you should be talking 20, 30% of the time. The customer should be talking 70, 80% of the time. So is this person asking a lot of questions? Are they curious about your business, how you generate revenue, how you grow your customer base? The next one is business acumen. This is a learning for me. I ran a technology sales organization, so my first hires, I looked for technical folks. I was like, yeah, we're selling database. I need someone that understands database, they understand development type tools. But when I looked and I did some A/B testing against my most successful reps, and my middle of the pack and my least successful, they weren't performing. Those technical folks weren't performing as well. It was the folks that had business acumen that were most successful. So they really tried to put themselves in the shoes of who they were selling to. If it's a chief sales officer, it's chief financial officer, chief marketing officer, and they could really talk to their challenges, pains that they're going through in that moment of time. So for me, starting out, business acumen would be that third. Then going down to the final 2, I would also look at past success. So obviously, do they have successful traits professionally as well as maybe academically? Then the final one is cognitive skills. So how do they work, especially within a growing organization, how do they work with maybe not having a leader there all the time, working within ambiguity? Can they be autonomous in their approach to their business? So really looking at their habits, some of their cognitive skills. Those are really the top 5. So it sounds perfect on paper. So where do you go find those folks? So again, definitely a challenge. Sales is booming. I think Austin is a great example of that. So much investment from a tech standpoint, and with that comes a lot of investment in sales organizations, both field, but more so inside sales. So folks that sell over the phone or sell using digital type technologies like WebEx, social media channels, growth is 30% on average year over year. So it's such a competitive marketplace. There's a lot of talent out there, but how do we identify this talent? So I wanted to share 3 real areas where I was able to pull talent from and identify really, really successful folks that fit in with those 5 attributes. So the first is, 725? Oh, wow, we're going through it really quick. So the first is, thank you. So the first is sales schools. There's 100 sales schools across the US. So students specialize in selling, role-playing, leveraging technology that's applicable in the sales world today. So that's one area I'd recommend. The other is veterans. So folks that have been in the military or looking to come out of the military, I really have a lot of value. I've found a lot of value in them joining within the sales organization. The traits that they have, the drive, the tenacity, they've got business acumen. So really, really good fits. So next I want to talk about hiring a VP of sales. So when to hire a VP of sales. So now we've built our reps. We've got a solid foundation. So now let's look at hiring a VP of sales. So what does that look like? So for me, when to hire, I would say revenue-wise, 1 million to 1.5 million, just really from a nature of costs. Because an average salary for a VP of sales, a good VP of sales, is around 300K total on-target earnings. So you got to take that into consideration. I would factor in, try looking for your VP of sales at least 3 to 6 months before you need them to come on board, because it takes time to find that good fit. What to look for? I think I'd really focus on, look 12 to 24 months out within your business. So what is your annual contract value, your average selling price in 12 months, in 24 months, and does that VP of sales have experience within that space? They could be coming from a big organization, maybe an Oracle, maybe a Salesforce, and selling these huge deals into installs. Look for folks who have built teams before, as opposed to inherited sales teams. So truly went out, hired folks, identified talent, brought them on board, and coached them to success. What should the core focus be? Number one is hiring. Like identifying those team members to help the company grow and scale as effectively as possible. Second, I would say to backfill for the reps, to know the deals inside out, to align resources to help close those deals, to move them forward in the cycle as quickly as possible. I would say the ability to sell, to close revenue, but if your VP of sales is closing revenue, closing deals on a consistent basis, that's going to take away from your ability to scale your overall business and reach your macro goals. So definitely there's some things to look at from hiring a VP of sales. So as we close out, I want to share some eye-opening research. I was going to ask for some feedback, but this is more from sales trends. 54% of opportunities currently in the pipeline, this is from CSO Insights, and this is forecasted pipeline, actually pushes to the next quarter, the next month, the next week. 52% of those deals that push actually never close. 48% close, of course. And then 49.3%, that's actually your win probability at the craps table in Vegas. So that's kind of shocking to me. So your probability at the casino is a lot higher than probability of seeing a deal that's forecasted actually close. Again, as we look at customer purchasing behavior, just some technology is having a huge impact, and I think we can all see that in the marketplace, how folks go to market, how they make decisions, how they buy technology. So we got a stat there, it's 92% of B2B buying is influenced by digital engagement. I don't think it's not surprising for us. I think we do that as consumers, but we're seeing that more so in the B2B space. So how is technology impacting the sales organization? It's obviously impacting buyer behavior, so we gotta react too. I think we live in a culture now where we're blessed to have so much technology, but I think it's maybe not a great thing because we have so much technology, especially in the sales world, because a lot of the times technology can be a crutch for some sales professionals, they maybe don't have the revenue generating activity. They're too busy doing analysis, profiling, leveraging the cool tools and technology out there in the marketplace. So what I wanted to give you an idea of is, what are the core 5 technology components that will give you a really good foundation to build off of long term? And this is, again, my personal feedback and opinion. I think good CRM, it's like to capture the data, maintain the data, have a sales intelligence type tool where you can pull data, so get trigger events, intelligence about the companies you're calling into. So whenever you do call, you can be that insight leader, that thought leader. Email automation, so a tool where you can schedule emails to get sent out. You can create sales funnels that can communicate, follow up on an ongoing basis. Telephony, I think worst case, having a click-to-call type technology, as well as maybe a dialing type technology. So if you've got a limited amount of resources right now, leveraging a dialing technology like a Connect and Sell, or an InsideSales.com in order to reach out to your customers and get more connects on an ongoing basis. And then finally, a learning tool. So how can you upgrade your team, upscale your team? I think we can only get our team better if we're getting better ourselves. So a learning management type tool. So to close out, for me, the future of sales, I'm biased, of course, again. I'm really excited. I see inside sales really exploding, even more so than it has at the moment. Digital technology is going to continue to have a huge play, but it's finding that balance between automation as well as personalization, which is going to be key. But for me, most exciting is the sales. Sales is getting recognized as a profession. So going back to one of the first photographs we've seen, it's no longer that very first one. It's truly an insight leader and a thought leader that we're being recognized as. And that's what's exciting for me. So with that, I know we're right at time. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Questions? Questions?
Do you recommend a specific CRM tool?
Yeah, it's a good question. There's a lot out there. I think to start out, there's a great free CRM from HubSpot. It will give you access to unlimited data, unlimited users, and you can really use that to scale long term in the future. I think outside, of course, Oracle, Salesforce, maybe for larger type organizations. Another entry-level type CRM, in addition to HubSpot, I'd probably recommend Insightly. So that's another good one as well. But HubSpot I've found is a really good tool technology to get started and build out from there. And it's free, so it's really, really good technology.
Okay.
Good question, thank you.
Hey Gary, what about like a typical time and role for an average entry-level salesperson position? What do we need to kind of plan for?
I would say at least 12 months. So I would definitely try and paint a promotion path for that individual. So I'm a big proponent of in-position promotions. So maybe after 6 months, if they hit specific goals or metrics, elevating maybe on the variable side. Maybe after 9 months, you could even give them a sales rep 1, sales rep 2, sales rep 3. I think after 12 months, if they've shown consistent success, quarter over quarter or month over month, is definitely a good time to maybe look at advancing.
What do you think is driving that high turnover number?
I think a lot of it, actually the numbers behind that data was actually the highest was unmet expectations. So folks joining organizations where maybe during the interview process information was communicated, or maybe information wasn't communicated, and whenever they join that organization, expectations weren't met, and that's maybe from a professional development standpoint, maybe promotion standpoint. They weren't able to see that next role, that next level, weren't able to attain the earnings that they thought possible whenever they first joined. So that's the first, is really unmet expectations in joining that organization. And I think as sales leaders, we have a lot of control over that. That's a good question though, really good.
Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Do you do role playing when you interview a salesperson? Do you role play with them?
Yeah, Yeah, that's a great point. Definitely, that's part of the, when I'm evaluating the communication characteristic. So I've done either a role play or an actual presentation. So for field rep, it's actually giving them a scenario in advance of time, and then have them prepare and come ready to deliver a PowerPoint presentation or demo in person, or if it's inside, give them a scenario up front. And of course, they have to make, bless you, they have to make some assumptions because they don't know the company as well as you do, but definitely that's a great indicator of how they communicate on the phone, how they plan for a call presentation, the types of questions they ask. So that was the key part. Whenever I did it in person, that was role playing and or a presentation dependent on the role. So it's really, it's a good point. Is that something that you've tried out or had experience with?
No, I haven't, but I haven't hired a Salesforce yet.
But I would definitely recommend, even up front, if you're trying to identify those characteristics, leveraging assessments can be helpful too to save you a little bit of time. Maybe leveraging a DISC behavioral assessment or a Divine assessment. They have a lot of pre-built reports that you can leverage to give yourself a good foundation. There's also one other, it's Objective Management Group, which is an assessment specifically for sales folks, and they have profiled hundreds and thousands of sales professionals and come up with those top attributes that you can measure against. So you're almost like pre-screening as early as possible in the process. So those are good options too.
Anything else? We good? I think we're good.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Ted.
Thank you. Okay, and next up, let me move the screen. For our first pitch, you're good to come up, Mike. We have Siago and Adnan. You there? Can you hear me now? No? All right, what's that?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Shake your head, yes.
Give me the rolling sign.
Okay, well, I'll just assume that it works one way and then you can just do a hand signal. First of all, thanks, Jason, for being flexible and allowing me to come in with Skype. And then also I want to apologize for Gary. Didn't mean to call in the middle of his speech, so sorry about that. Again, just thank you, everybody. So I'm calling here from Copenhagen, Denmark, the happiest country and apparently the happiest city, but winter is coming soon and that's not a happy time here in Scandinavia. But I do have Houston, Texas connections and that's why I'm here. So I'll get started. What I've done is developed a web app to visualize the content of large documents, and think of it that brings the Control F feature from the 1990s into the modern world. So it uses some AI and ML, and there is a minimum value product that's ready. And what I need to do is make a commit or drop decision personally for myself by the end of 2016. I do have a full-time job here in Denmark, and I'll talk about a little bit about myself later. So what I'm looking for today is either a marketing co-founder or maybe a current student looking to do a biz plan competition idea, and perhaps if there are any consultants who can help market validation or go to market. So the problem is when you have large text documents, if you read it page by page, it's very inefficient if you're only interested in a specific content. You may look for the table of contents, but it's not always there or available. Examples can be when you have research articles or other documents that don't really have, or long code opinions, they normally don't have a table of contents. So in some cases, you do have a specific word to look for, but you may also be looking for related content. So the app I've developed, it's fairly low cost to deliver, and it's got a simple interface, and it can be running in minutes without extensive user training. So here I'm doing a screenshot, and because of the technology, I didn't want to try to run a demo online, but what you can see here is I've uploaded a, do you see the presentation?
I'm
Oh,
texting.
sorry. I had forgotten to share my presentation. Thank you for letting me know. Good, good. Here we will. You see it now? Yep. Okay, I can see it in the background. Great. So sorry about that. Hopefully, what I was saying was still entertaining enough without the text being read. But what this is the screenshot, and it shows you the there's a web document. It's a sample contract actually from the Austin School District. It's been loaded in, and on the left side here you can see some keywords that have been extracted in this fishtail diagram, and it shows some relationship. And in the live version, if you click on any of these, you will actually see the sample sentences. So in this case, I clicked liability and coverage, which is this line right here, and you see the sentences, and it highlights it, and you can do some more interactivity. So just a glimpse of what the app does, and you can seed it. In this case, I told it to start with the word liability because that's what I was interested in, but it gave me other documents. So what have I done so far? I've gotten sales and marketing. So there's been some minimal marketing via LinkedIn blog posts and stories of use cases, and that's what I'm here today, is to find out what do we need to do next, or how do I get to this, out of this commit or drop decision. A couple of competitors. In the interest of time, I'm not going to really go here, but generally you can see on the left side here, these are primarily in the legal industry. Here's one in the journalist, but for most of them, they end up being highly customized either for a domain, or they're large enterprise type applications that are quite powerful. What I showed you only takes a few seconds to do, and anybody can get to it with an app on the web. Don't really have a business model yet, but some ideas I've been thinking are subscription, desktop, plugin, and ads. And then a little bit about myself. So I'm an oil and gas professional engineer. I have an MBA, and then a hacker, supposedly with above average communication skills. That doesn't include Skype. And then I am looking for a marketing co-founder from Austin. I have a product online, and I have a few email addresses that people have sent me through the MailChimp. And I do have a pivot plan, which is to deliver chicken wings using sentiment analysis. And you can see my path if the very app doesn't work out. So thanks, everybody. So unfortunately, I can't hear. So let me try to see if I can maybe call you back.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well.
Perfect. I hear audio now.
You hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Questions from the audience? Come on up. Anybody? Everybody's quiet today. Normally you guys are all eager.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is that, so, I forget, was it web-based or is it run on a desktop?
Web-based or run on a desktop?
It's web-based.
Is the demo available to try?
Can you try it out?
Yeah, just on the website. That's in the Meetup link. It's on there.
The calgo.com?
Yes.
The link is on the flyer.
Ask if it does a parent, the mind map that he created, does it do like a parent-sibling structure, or is it only one level?
Is the structure one level or does it multi-level?
It's one level, but you can choose to get in deeper at one at a time.
Anything else? Are we good? I think we're good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty. We are going, if it ends, let me switch screens. Ted, we're going to have you come up with charted energy. Not me. I'm going to give you the clicker. I'm going to get it set up, and then you be ready to go.
All right.
Just have to remember which one you are on. Where's the mouse? Charted energy. And I think it's... Ta-da.
All right, thank you. So Charted Energy is a company that's founded to develop and facilitate sustainable alternative sources of energy. We're focused here tonight on grid scale energy storage. So my partner and I founded this company for three main reasons. The first one is because today about half of the electric generation in this country is either becoming uneconomical or is already uneconomical. You can see that nuclear power and coal-fired power make up about half of the power generation that the country has. And those are uneconomical with the advent of low-cost power from natural gas. So the gap is being filled by a lot of things, but to a large part, wind energy and solar energy. And the difference between those is nuclear and coal are dispatchable and controllable, whereas wind and solar are not. At the same time, electric utilities are changing their rate structures. They're focusing, for industrial customers and large commercial customers, they're weighting more of the cost of electric supply in what they call demand charges and less in energy. So that means you're basically paying for the standby capability to use energy, not necessarily for the energy you use. So you can't really tell from the numbers here, but this is typical for a lot of industrial tariffs. Over half of the bill comes from this standby capability, and less than half of it is actually energy that was used. And then the last driver is probably the most interesting, which is all of the R&D that's come from electric vehicles. So there's tons and tons of money being poured into making batteries better performing, longer lasting, and scale manufactured so that the cost is coming down. And this is opening up other markets such as stationary power. So our business plan is to go elephant, who are highly experienced in the space. We're looking for opportunities to do large-scale deployments of energy storage combined with renewable energy, principally solar energy. By having a small team, we keep our costs down, which is kind of the name of the game in this space. So we're looking for, one or two opportunities a year that we can turn into kind of executed transactions. So we have to keep our overhead low and keep the amount of money tied up in the pursuit of any individual opportunity low. A typical transaction would be like a large industrial facility that we apply a 10 megawatt solar array to, combined with a 10 megawatt energy storage facility. And the capital cost of all of that we're adding is $30 to $40 million. So if we could do one or two of those a year, we don't get to keep all of that, obviously, because we have to buy a lot of equipment. But the development fees that come off of each one of those are pretty substantial. So our ask is we're looking for three different things. We're looking for like-minded people who have sector-specific expertise in renewable energy, could be primarily business development, project management, engineering. We're also looking for strategic investors. It could be like an equipment manufacturer, like a company that makes batteries or power electronics, stuff like that, who would invest in us principally to help them build their pipeline, because what we develop as our opportunity feeds their sales funnel. And then lastly, financial investors in the space. So companies that are used to investing in large-scale energy, primarily renewable energy infrastructure. So that's all I have. Well, I didn't use 38 seconds. So that's 38 more seconds of questions.
questions?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just curious. How are you expecting to like be able to compete with like the RESs of the world, like the really big energy storage companies that have kind of like an economy of scale factor?
So that's a great question. My partner and I come from a background of focusing on working with customers who are big energy users. So the large-scale developers have typically focused on greenfield development that's not tied to a facility, to a customer. So we're doing it. I mean, there's definitely competition for sure. But the traditional large-scale developers haven't focused on customers. They focused on, buying just virgin land and putting a wind farm or solar panels down over greenfield. Guy in the back.
Do you have any idea about hydrogen fuel cells and cold fusion?
I have no idea about cold fusion whatsoever. I'm fairly familiar with fuel cells, and in fact, one of the emerging battery technologies is basically a reversible fuel cell. So, I'm not a big fan of traditional fuel cells, but there are people out there who use them. They tend to be expensive and finicky, and they have to be rebuilt every 5 or 6 years. So that's why I don't like them, but, they're out there. Yes?
You seem to be involved in demand-side management.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a key part of our value proposition, is helping customers change the ratio of the power their facility uses to the energy they consume.
Have you considered partnering with any unregulated or regulated utilities?
We couldn't really partner effectively with regulated utilities. I mean, I guess in theory you could, but in practice they're very, very difficult to work with.
Or unregulated?
Unregulated, I mean, we do. So the financing sources that we have are all the non-regulated arm of utilities. All right, anyone else? Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Scott, you're already on your way up. Let me switch. Nope, not that one. You are no. Where did you go? I have you right here. That right there. This is ready to go. And yeah, it'll go through. All right. And your phone. There you go.
All right. Thanks for having me. My name is Scott White, and I am the CEO and founder of Orange Robot, and we're the builders of Drive Better, the smart driving coach for your teen driver. So to get things started, I just like a show of hands for everybody. How many of you have kids? So, a fair amount of you. How many of you have kids that are either about to learn to drive or are currently driving? So yeah, a couple. So the guys that have the kids that are driving, you may know some of these stats I'm going to show. The other ones may be surprised, like I was surprised. So my kids are 4, so I have a while until I get to worry about this. It turns out in the US, the leading cause of death for teenagers is driving. So motor vehicle fatalities kills more kids than homicide, suicide, and medical reasons combined. So, I mean, if you think about that for a second, that's a lot. In US, with all the safe driving technology, airbags, all the stuff our cars can do, it's still very deadly. This problem's so prevalent, in fact, that 1 in 5 16-year-olds has an accident in the first year of driving. When you think about that, that's a lot. So, there's obviously a huge human cost as well as capital cost, right? Even a small fender bender is expensive. So what I want to talk about is Drive Better. It provides a small app, an app and a small device that gives safe driving habits. So we have a very simple idea, is that basically we take data and we monitor your driving capabilities and we turn that into feedback for the driver. So this also allows the parent to set driving privileges based on your kid's behavior. So there's a lot of research that shows that accidents are greatly reduced when you have a graduated driving capability. So you quickly become a better driver over time. And so what this does is it extends your driving supervision without having a person sit in the car and tell you to slow down and not brake so hard and, you know, watch out for that guy. So it's no longer switching. Well, oh, there you go. Sorry. I was pressing the wrong button. So quickly, I talk about market size. In the US only, so there's obviously other countries that they have cars in, but right now I'm just focused on the US. 17 million teenagers. 80% of those have smartphones, which is actually seems like kind of a small number. That number will probably continue to grow. And so then what we're focused on is actually 3.3 million 16-year-olds that have a smartphone. And every year that number turns over, obviously, as new people turn 16. So the thing for us is none of those 3.3 million teenagers are going to buy Drive Better. However, their parents will. So 80% of parents are either very concerned or concerned about the safety of new drivers. A small company you may have heard of, General Motors. They just introduced the capability into every one of their 2017 Chevrolets called Teen Driver. So this capability gives a lot of what we do, almost the same kind of set of features, except ours is much cheaper than the MSRP of a brand new car. And I can personally tell you that we've validated the system. It makes you a much more aware driver as you drive along and you think about and you can see the data. We have a proof of concept in place with over 1 million data points already collected. So we validated from car to device to phone to server to the person. So our business model is very simple. We make things people want and we sell it for money. So we don't have to do any, data collection, no advertising. All of our stuff is we'll sell a box for money. The market renews annually, and there's a good margin on the device sale. So finally, why we're here is basically the same reason probably everybody's here, all the businesses here. So we're looking for two things. We're looking for new customers. For those of you that are interested, you're welcome to go to our website and sign up. We won't send you a lot of spam, but we will let you know when the device is available for pre-order, or you can follow us on Twitter. And finally, we're looking for investors. So we're looking to raise around 500K. Currently, the business is personally funded with mostly my money and a lot of sweat equity. And so we're ready at this point to speed up. All of you here know how expensive it is to get developers in-house and to do things quickly. So we're ready to speed up our development process. And we need to order a larger quantity of devices to get them out in the field and collect more data. And then finally, we want to increase our marketing efforts. So that's it. And I have 15 seconds left. So I talked a little fast, I'm sure, but any questions?
So what kind of data does it collect?
It collects a variety of data. Speeding is obviously a big deal. Many of the competitors just have if you go over some max speed, we actually collect the speed along the system and compare it with databases of speed limit urban areas with lower speed limits than a over speed limit would catch. We also collect hard braking, hard acceleration, kind of swerving behavior. So like when you look on your phone and you start swerving and you come back, we can tell when you do that. Trying to think of what else. Just general kind of aggressive things. If you go around a turn too fast, if you hit a large bump, if you get into an accident, all those kind of things we can detect. Johan?
Have you guys run any Kickstarter or any GoFundMe?
We're actually working up to a Kickstarter. We actually have Golden Arm Media is building a video for us. The guys over there. So our video will be done any day now, I think at the end of the month. And that's one of the ways we're exploring of getting a large pre-order is to do a Kickstarter. So.
Do you have a set how much you're going to raise?
Well, just as a standard number, we're trying to get 100 devices out there. That's kind of our minimum quantity to do it, and that's around $10,000. So anyway, yeah, so that'll be our goal is to raise $10,000.
I have a question. Is the app going to block the use of the phone, meaning Snapchat and Instagram?
Yeah, we are actually not going to, at this point, we're not going to block the phone's use. For one reason, there's a lot of apps that will already do that. So you can already get that capability, and we don't really want to compete in that space. And also on the technical side, you have to take a lot more permissions of the phone, which sort of makes your app more harder to get approval. So.
Are there any transportation regulations that cover what you sell that would make it a regulatory risk?
Not that I know of. So there's quite a few systems that already do something similar. Most of the competitors, they do a couple things different than we do, but they collect the same sort of data. Most of them have a device with a cell phone in them, so they pay a monthly fee to Verizon or somebody like that because they collect the data through the cell network, where we're going to use your existing data plan on your cell phone because basically everybody already has a data plan. Why pay for another one in the device? The other thing is most of those systems are very what I call Big Brother in terms of they tracking. Like one of them will literally send the parent a text message every time the car stops, which seems kind of crazy to me, and really like ineffective in terms of making you a better driver, right? I mean, it doesn't do anything for the driver. It's just for people that can't quite let go. So, yeah.
Is there real-time feedback for the driver?
There is not. We talked about that, but we sort of decided we didn't want to be one of the distractions that made them wreck. So our idea is you will effectively, a couple minutes really after you drive, you'll get a report that says, hey, these are places you went too fast, you brake too hard. So it'll be really after the fact. We can actually also collect data for about 10 days. So some other competitors are phone-based, and they have the limitation if you have to be in the phone, it has to be on, in the car, and it has to be on. We can collect data, and then you can go score the trip effectively after it happens.
Are you gonna send me the data from my children, and I can call them and tell them what they're doing wrong?
Yes. So right now the way it works is actually it's a mutual. So they can also call you and say, Dad, you're driving too fast. So because one of the things that is very apparent is that people often say drive this way, not how I drive, right? Do as I say, not as I do. And so we think that's actually helps us sell more boxes. Is you put one in every family car as opposed to just the teenagers, because then you can compare. So we have a kind of a idea of this gamification feature that'll allow you to compare, mom's driving versus brother's driving, whatever. So, yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
We gotta move on to the next presentation.
All right.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Hey. This one?
Yeah, so there's a link to the internet, but then you get back. I'm just gonna click.
So you should just be able to click on the link and it'll pull up and then it
Yeah.
should bounce back.
It should bounce back, but it's not.
No, you're the only PowerPoint. Okay. There you go. That button.
Right button?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're all set?
All right. All right, I'm Sean Hines, and I've come up with the Snap Player. Okay, question, how many people watch a lot of YouTube videos? Okay, you're gonna like this product, especially the web publishers that use my product. So my background,
Press the power out button.
this one. Oh, okay. 20 years web development and marketing. Over 60 happy clients, built dozens of web-based apps, attended dozens of internet marketing seminars. I'm a certified Scrum Master. I've had over 60 virtual workers I've managed and over 300 WordPress sites. So I'm pretty diverse. Video problem. Who has ever been frustrated when you can't fast forward the video? Pissed because the video is too long, you just wanted highlights or the price. You want a specific step in a long list of instructions, or maybe you fumbled around with a little progress bar looking for your favorite spot. What viewers now are thinking, let's say on our website, you're thinking, you see video, my head is spinning, your video doesn't match your written content below it. Or I have to watch them go over yet another feature, I think I'm gonna puke. Or publishers are thinking, are you crazy? You wanna fast forward? No way. I spent $2,500 on this video. Or hey dude, I'm up here, quit scrolling down and reading the content. So I think there's a lot of disconnect between video and the content. So the Snap Player is a solution. It's our video player platform that significantly improves consumers' comprehension, utilization, engagement, and array of choices. So I think it's kind of a paradigm shift here, and I'll show you an example. Imagine the early days of the written word where content didn't have a table of contents or chapters. And that's where I think we are with video consumption. We're kind of in the early days. The trends are consumer choices are increasing, attention spans are dropping, the amount of video is growing exponentially faster than the number of eyeballs, and there's a content disconnect when a user scrolls down from the video way before, down to the bottom for content, way before the video finishes. Okay, so show you example, well first, that translates to lower revenue and lower rates of engagement. All right, let me show you an example here so you can see. Oh, click on the link. All right, so I'm sure you guys seen this video before. This is the evolution of dance. And what happens is you go to this video a lot, and maybe you want to jump to a certain favorite part. So what we did is we create an automatic set of links that is created at the bottom of the video so you can jump wherever you want. Oh, it's not jumping to the... There we go.
You have to scroll over to the...
Okay, there we go. All right, so here's the video, and automatically creates snap points or chapter markers here at the bottom. So you can jump to that specific part of the video. Okay? So the person who develops the website can create snap points or chapters wherever they want. And as you scroll down the page, the video pops over to the right, so you have a consistent video as you read, and you can see and watch the video as you go. And at the same time, you can drop in links to the video up on the left and intersperse with your content. Oh, it's on this one, okay. It's multi-screen here. All right, so you get the idea. You can add links there or in the video, all right? So going back to the presentation.
There you go.
Got it? All right. All right, so we've already launched phase 1, the WordPress plugin. Phase 2 is a software as a service. It's 80% complete. We're just going to have a CDN part of it, call to action overlays, custom skins, Google Analytics integration. And then phase 3, we're going to have developer API endpoints. So the goal was create a world with thousands of video distillers, all of them publishing snap videos, segmenting and enriching content for the world to consume. Competition, basically none. You have to pull out your video editor maybe to create segmentation links, or there's a little clunky editor inside YouTube that allows you to create little chapters. But there's a lot of use cases for this, whether it's instructional videos, marketing videos, long security footage, things like that. Market stats are off the roof, how fast YouTube videos are being published, how many petabytes of video we're consuming. Okay, I'm not going to go over the statistics more. Basically, the revenue potential is huge. Calculating it, we can come up with $24 million a year if people buy this product at $80 a year license. Okay, so we're looking for partners, some investors. We're only looking for $25,000 at first, maybe more if we got to have some payroll talent. So here's my contact info and a coupon code for anybody who wants to purchase here. We'll give 35% off, but it's a snapplayer.com. Sure. Any questions?
So when is the API version going to be out? Because I mean, the API you can put into people that have embedded videos or Vimeo or something like that, right?
No, it's more for people who want to kind of white label it, or they just want to consume it without using WordPress or our enterprise software, where it goes through a JSON database API. Yeah. It's for licensing for a lot of other web developers. Any other questions?
Can you move the player from one side to the other?
Yeah, we have an option in WordPress. In the short code, you can choose left or right or none.
So the user cannot.
Oh, the user can't pop it over, but the decide where he wants the.
Does it work with embedded YouTube videos, or is it you have to upload it to your media library?
Either.
Either.
Yes.
The one that you have for TechMap 30 and TechMap 90, is there a difference this scan?
Yeah, TechMap 30 is for the plugin for WordPress. TechMap 90 is for the enterprise version when it comes out in a few weeks.
So you mentioned that publishers have an issue with fast forwarding video. How does this help publishers?
Are you saying where in terms of if they fast forward, don't want people to fast forward, or do want people to fast forward? Don't. Well, I think users get frustrated that they can't and don't often they abandon the video. So instead of giving them fast forward, just give them a couple key points to watch, like testimonials or benefits. And I'm going to make it eventually where, hey, you have to watch X number of minutes before you can jump. Okay, so it's kind of a middle ground between those 2 points.
Anyone else?
Go ahead.
So you said it can play YouTube videos. Do you have problems with like the terms of service of hosting your video on YouTube and then using your player?
Well, since a lot of people already embed, I really don't think it would be a problem. I really don't. I haven't looked at it fully, but I can't see it being an issue. But it's really easy to use. WordPress Wizard, all you do is hit a button, and it creates your snap points, and you create a cool little title, and you're off and running. But for instructional videos, so far, people love it. They just so tired of getting to that exact point. You could just have your user jump right to it. Like in the foyer this morning, or just an hour ago, some gentleman showed me a video, and we were waiting for the good part. I said, you got to use my snap player. Go ahead.
So does the plugin that actually generates the snap points automatically?
Well, you determine where you want them, so you hit a button and it saves the time, and you name it what you want.
So it's-
Yeah. Or you can use an image. We have some set images, so you don't have to actually use the title you give it.
Anyone else? Cool.
Cool. Thanks for the questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That one. Yes. Yep.
Okay, hi, I'm Katina Kenyon. I am representing Apollo Studios. I'm here with my partner as well, Jose Jamate. I know we're standing between you and the exit, so we will be concise and efficient. The answer first here is we are looking for validation of both our problem statement as well as hypothesis. Our ask tonight is going to be that validation and then to ask for new customers. We are a nearshore software mobile and web development studio, and we're based in Central America. The goal for tonight, not only the ask and validation, but guidance in terms of what each of you as startups are experiencing in terms of accessing and procuring talent. So we understand the great tech gap over the next few years will continue to grow, and access to that development will continue to be challenged. So being able to provide developers and engineers in a near source solution, and looking to see how that, whether that's located in Austin or in a near shore location, how that impacts you as a co-founder. So let me give you a little bit about who Apollo Studios. We've actually been in business for about 3 years. We build solutions based off of any language, any tech stack, and the solutions that we're providing are user-centric focused, and we're providing those experiences for your most prized possessions. So we go end to end of our existing portfolio. We have clients that bring us on for these end-to-end solutions from research and development all the way into Q&A and deployment. And then we have clients that bring us on to accelerate sprints within their development process. So we do the meat of the development itself. So we do both front-end and back-end mobile and web development. And as I mentioned, both QA and deployment. So net, what I'm looking for is validation of kind of comfort level of using a near source solution, and then asking for new business. So that's Apollo Studios. Questions? Guidance? Feedback? Beer 30.
So, I have a question, I guess. So you basically, I think I got an email from you from Salvador, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that you basically have a developer shop for creating apps. But you mentioned about employment. So do you have a separate app for that for people to connect with, or find employment, or what? How
For,
do you-
to find talent, to find developers. Yeah, so we have, well, we don't have a separate solution for that, but probably half of our current clients use us on a retainer basis, so we source their talent. We're located in San Salvador, El Salvador, so the talent sits with us in our development center, and we give them their direct employees of clients here in the U.S.
And these people work overseas, or I mean, like if I want to hire one of your talent,
They're based with us in San Salvador, in Central America. And Jose actually manages the operations there. I'm based here in Austin.
So for the ones who don't know where El Salvador is, because we get always mixed up with Africa and some city in Brazil. San Salvador is just two countries away. So it's Mexico, Guatemala, and El Salvador. So we are 2 hours away for any flight to Houston. We are like 4 hours away from New York. So we're very near shore, and we use the same time zone as Austin.
and you guys charging per hour per project? How do you guys?
It depends. We have opportunities that clients bring us on end to end and ask us to scope all the way from wireframing to deployment, and then we can give them a full project cost. Or we have clients that ask us for just specific sprint work or specific project work, and we can go hourly.
Been in business for that 3 years, you said. Give us an idea of the type of projects that you've been involved with. So.
Yeah. A couple that we're really proud of. We've worked with the Mayo Clinic on some solutions. The Houston Methodist on the healthcare side. On the entertainment side, we've done a couple of solutions, or one specific with a kind of YouTube of the Middle East, and presented content, both video and music, in both Arabic and in English. Do you want to highlight a couple?
Well, in the mobile space, we've worked with the major players here in the entertainment, like NBC, Fox, but we're trying to reach out and expand more, because as of the last 3 years, we've been just focused on our current clients, and we haven't grown much, right? So our strategy for the next 3 years is just to expand operations more in the U.S. and probably reach out to more a specific type of customers. Like, well, we just heard that a need of development from one of the presenters here, that he expressively said, developers cost money, and of course, but we have seen also a trend here in the U.S. that there's a lot of turnover, and it's growing, driven by the high demand of technology that it's out there, right? So just nesting a single developer can take time, right? So probably in our development center in El Salvador, the situation is different, right? So basically we have a really low turnover. So basically our customers love the service because our developers stay with them like for months or even years, right? So that's an advantage. So we can quickly integrate to any development team that it's out there. We use the tools, their management, their process, or if not, we can offer ours, and that's how we deliver service.
Cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
You all are a quiet bunch today. Normally you're loud and rowdy. One second. Oh, cancel. That thing does not. Nope. All right, folks. Let me just put that up.
Thank you all for coming. Wait, hey Veronica, are we doing a raffle? Okay, did you put your business cards in the bucket? Last chance. We'll do a quick raffle. I know. Yes, I know. I haven't forgotten. She's heading this way, folks, if you're coming to the back.
Say something about if anybody has anybody in LA who would give them some tickets to the event that we're going, and also San Francisco.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to say or you want to come up.
Go for it.
Yeah.
All right, do we have everybody's ticket in? Almost. I'm gonna let Gary pull. I don't want to pull. What do we got? We're just doing one? Yeah. Ryan Halls.
All right.
T-shirt. Okay, couple more quick announcements, and then we'll let you carry on with your evening. We have started a new / adjusted our VIP and verified membership program. It's a subscription model. It's $10 a month. It gives you free entry to these events, so you do not have to wait in line and pay on Meetup. You can walk right in, grab your name tag, head on in. If you do happen to miss a meeting, we put all of the videos online, so you'll have access to all the videos should you miss a meeting for whatever reason. We're working and partnering with South by Southwest, so as of this past Friday, the badge price went up and is going to continue to go up over the next few months. We have a discounted rate that's available until the 1st of January, so if you're interested in getting a discount on your South by Southwest badge and you're a verified member, you are capable of getting that discount. The more that sign up for the membership and the more that ask for a badge, the cheaper the badges are for South by Southwest. You can go onto the website and sign up for that. There's a couple of links and a couple of options for it, and it'll be in the newsletter. We have a couple of other events happening in LA and California and San Francisco that we're partnering with, and we have some opportunities for free tickets if you or someone you know wants to go, and I'm gonna let Johan explain those.
Yeah, so we have one in LA that actually we partner up with, and since we're starting our next co-founder is gonna be in LA, we got some tickets available, so if anybody knows anybody, it's right here. If anybody knows anybody in LA, just come and see me, and I'll try to get you some tickets as a fund to get funded event. So there'll be a lot of investors in LA, and then we have another one called Tech Cocktail, which is Tech CEO. This happened in San Francisco, and we have tickets for that as well. So if anybody wants to attend San Francisco or knows anybody, let me know, and I'll get you some tickets so you can network with some investors as well there. Thank you.
Cool. I think that's it for me. We'll be here on October 3rd with Brett Hurt and ATX Startup Week. We'll also be at the Startup Crawl on that Thursday of that week. If you're out running around downtown that evening, there'll be lots of food and drinking and people. Thank you. Don't forget your trash. And we have the room until 9 o'clock.
Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Hey.
Music be echoing.
That's cool. Yeah. He said it was the first time he's done it. I was like, yeah, that's our first time. I was texting him after. I was on Skype chatting with him after we got done with this meeting.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe people have questions today. It's kind of weird.
I know. It's quiet.
I know. But you know, we have 2% for next month, right?
We have a third one. He just hasn't registered yet.
That's good. I mean, it's hard with them.
The few of one like
We need
so
to
like
jump on board on the sponsorship. We don't have.
I've been trying to email people and I haven't gotten feedback, so I'm going to continue to work on that this week.
You have to leave your laptop there, or?
pick it up at 7. I go to sleep around 12. They say that it's hard to go to sleep when you have like a monitor or something. That's why they don't recommend to read a book. We had that before. We call that the reverse pitch. And it was like, developers saying, hey, my skills are going down. I'm looking for a job. We don't get it once, and that was the time. It was like feedback. So I think there's a lot of questions that come up here. A lot of the pictures are not that There's a few that was a good one. I think it's good. Most of those people that are not that good, the marketing guys, to get out there and they're not good. Now you're putting developers back. That's the thing. They're very independent. They don't talk much. They don't have, they can't get together. It's tough. And a lot of them don't even want to get up here. Yeah, I think the companies were really well established, or they have.
Normally, it's one is really good, the others are getting it together.
Right. Yeah, we're trying to keep the few better ones, but it's hard. They look at their backs and based on their backs, when are you pitching your startup? Any age group going
Yeah, it is a year thing. Ours is, we might pitch it because it's a bit more science. That in my team, none of us really want to go through it. We have just come from undergrad. I was an entrepreneur myself in Mexico, and I was like, I'm cool, fun, but we get a real job now because I actually do need money and like if I ever want to bring a house. Provincias son de Morelia, Cuernavaca,
No, pero mucha gente mexicana que conozco, especialmente que no hablan
Cuando en México una amiga, su hermana se volvió lesbiana. Ahora soy lesbiana. Ay, mi novia es una rapera. Se llama la niña Dios. La fuimos a ver. Mi novia rapear. Mexicana, morena, pelo negro, rapeando. No, mexicana, más pálida que yo, más güera, pelo güero. Decía domicilio, rapeando.
¿Va a haber más eventos, dices, en San Francisco?
Sí, tengo dos eventos, uno en San Francisco que se llama Tech Show, es mío, pero es una compañía que hizo como varios.
¿Y cuánto sale? Ir para allá.
Esto para allá es, no sé, pero el hotel vale como $500 la noche.
Ah, sí, eso debe salir.
Sí, es bien caro para allá.
Bueno, tengo amigos por allá.